Well, yesterday we got moved down here to the custom harvest work here in Wanatah. Pretty cool backdrop there with the water tower. John Deere was out this morning, and actually yesterday morning also. There was a sensor we wanted to look at, one of the height sensors on the corn head, and actually two of them needed to be replaced, the center one and the right one. So we ended up getting those fixed, and they took a look at the yield monitor and figured out a couple of things that they wanted to test on it, and got it running this morning, got it calibrated, and got it dialed into around about 3%. We'll dial it in a little bit more when we move in the corn across the ditch here, because I don't think we'll be able to run this entire field. This field will run all the way up to the next road here, and it actually splits. There's like 3 splits here. There's this field, and then what they call the town property, and then another field of theirs. And I believe the far field beyond the town property is not quite ready yet, so what we'll end up doing is this weekend switch over to corn then and start running corn. What we ended up installing then on the combine, since during this process of having John Deere come out, the whole reason why John Deere was actually coming out also, not only besides the active yield fixing, is we installed JDLink to the combine, and eventually we'll get it in this tractor, but right now it's not really pressing to get it in here because there's really no reason to export any data wirelessly from this tractor, as we're just not capturing any data. It would be cool though to sync lines with the combine and be able to dump on the go a little bit easier. I can just drop AB lines out here and sync up with him then that way, or pair up with him, I should say. There is an activation for the 2630s. I believe it's called Machine Sync, and I believe it correlates with JDLink a little bit, and I believe that's like a $3,000 activation. But I believe with Machine Sync, Dad can take control of the speed of my tractor and adjust me so he can top me off better, fill me a little bit better. That might be something we look into in the future in regards to when we get a larger cart, which someday it would be awesome to have a cart with scales. I know we can put a scale kit on this, but I'd rather not invest any more money into this cart. I'd rather buy a cart with scales. So scales is definitely a must. That way we can do in-field calibrations a lot easier instead of dragging out the weigh wagon. Definitely also tracks. Tracks would be awesome to have. Better weight distribution versus these floater tires or these tires that are on this cart. But definitely 1,300 bushel. 1,300 bushel I feel would be perfect. 1,100 would just fill a truck, but I feel having 1,300 it'd give us a little bit more playroom out in the field when opening up fields. So the JDLink will be pretty awesome then, because this will wirelessly upload the data onto Ops Center for us, and we don't have to worry about manually doing it with the USB drive. So that's going to be a huge plus for us, being able to use JDLink and not have to worry about exporting this data. I believe the data is exported on the 2630s every day you key off, or every time you switch between fields. It'll automatically upload the data for that field for that day, or every time you switch to a different field. I believe that's how it works. I believe, if I remember right, that's what our AMS guy told us. Well, we just wrapped up this field, and we're opening up the center section here, what they call the town ground. And I guess we're going to be loading out over where he has that tandem set up over there. Oh, I don't know, the neighbor is planting wheat over there with, looks like a Henniker applicator. I don't know if you guys can really see that through the window or not. Another neighbor running over there with a Case IH combine. Just beyond that, there's another neighbor running a Klaus, I believe that's how you pronounce them, Klaus Lexion combine. So there's all kinds of activity around here right now. just getting this field opened up, and then I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna do after this field, because I don't believe, from the looks of it, I don't believe that field is quite ready to go. I believe these are pretty much just borderline right now, the way we're running them now. And we might call it quits and tomorrow switch the corn maybe. I'm not entirely sure, who knows, maybe those beans are ready. Just from the looks of them, from the last time I looked at them, I didn't think they were quite ready to go, that they wouldn't probably be able to run till next week, but who knows, we might get into them and they might be running just the same as these. But I'm not going to say what the yields are on this, because out of privacy reasons, there's no reason for me to be saying the yields or the moisture. I'll say the yields though on our own ground. As far as our rented ground though, I'm not going to really discuss much on yields on that, just for privacy for us on that. And even on our custom farm ground, just that 190 acres that we custom farm, I'm not going to discuss the yield on that either. So that's the next field of beans. I'm not entirely sure what we're doing next, if we're supposed to cut those next, or if we're calling it quits after this, because I know he's filling the bin right now. But I don't know if we're going to move over to this field or if we're going to hold off and switch to corn, because pretty much from here and everything on the other side of the ditch up to the road over there is what we got to pick. Who knows, we might end up starting on that field, or like I said, we might end up holding off and waiting tomorrow and starting on corn. I'll have to talk to somebody and see if we can get that, if they're going to throw that away. So for those of you that have never been back here at the Wanatah water tower, here you guys go. I'm guessing that's what, the sewage plant over here. I'm not too familiar with that building over there. It looks like it's sewage plant slash storage. I don't know, they've got a whole bunch of piles of stuff everywhere around it. There's a little patch in between here that we got to cut, in between that building and the water tower, and then there's a little dab in between the water tower and the ditch. And then I'm not entirely sure what that shack is there that they have, but the other tandem, or the third tandem, because he picked that tandem up this year, that white and silver one. If you guys don't remember, last winter we actually harvested for him a couple fields of corn, and you might see a couple of the tandems look familiar because of that. And basically this will just snake around all along the corn here and go straight back up, back to that fence post, and that's pretty much it for this field. Well, we just got done with this town ground, and now we just got word that we're going to go ahead and move on to those beans. They actually look ready, so hopefully we don't have any issues out there. We haven't had any issues yet. Working on getting this auto steer dialed in. Once I get the auto steer dialed in, I'll explain how I'm running auto steer with the grain cart, since we aren't using machine sync like I talked about, because that's a $3,000 activation. Once we get a bigger cart, I'd look into doing the $3,000 machine sync activation, just because I feel it'd be kind of cool to have the ability to adjust the cart from the combine. But I don't know, $3,000, I guess, I don't know, that'd be where YouTube money kicks in and, I don't know, pays for that. up this field on this end, and these are, I would say, borderline ready. We're gonna cut up through the field up to the other end and see what this looks like. If all else, if these aren't really gonna go, we'll end up calling it quits tonight. And I guess tomorrow we're gonna be going on corn then, more than likely. I guess that all depends though on what the corn's testing and what they plan on doing with it, if they're gonna put it in the bin or if they're hauling it in, what they plan on doing. We'll find out. Looks like Marv just brought the truck down to the other end, so we'll see what we're gonna do. I don't know. I don't think these are ready. They're like borderline in my opinion, but we'll see. I don't know. They might be a little bit different as we cut through. Alrighty, we just ended up with a game plan. We're not going to cut them. They're borderline ready, and we're not going to cut them. And we're going to wait, and so that way we can do a little bit better of a job. Dad's going to dump whatever he has on the grain tank into that silver or white tandem right there next to the combine. And we're going to go backtracking all the way up to where the truck and the header cart's set. We'll probably end up bringing the combine and the header home, because I guess somebody's photographing us over there, taking pictures of us. I know Scarecrow Fest is this weekend. I'm wondering if that's part of their newsletter, that they're taking pictures of us. That's cool. So I guess now there is a chance of rain for tomorrow, and there's a chance of rain Saturday and a chance of rain Sunday. You know, I don't know. We'll see what it does. I don't know. At this point, we'll move on to corn next until these beans get ready. We don't have anything ready to go till after the rain goes through. So next for us on our ground would be beans. We're not ready to even take corn, even if, you know, if we had corn ready. We got to rebuild one of the augers on for the dryer, and after that then we'll be ready to go. But until we get that done, we're not ready to take corn yet, and we'll see what happens here this weekend, and then we'll go from there. So if it doesn't really rain this weekend, or it doesn't rain at all, which who knows what it does, we'll end up harvesting this weekend on the corn, I would assume. But if it rains, then we'll go from there and see what we decide to do next Monday. So anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I guess we're going to try and figure out how we're going to turn around here. And I guess thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more harvest videos.